Kenyako here. Alright, so in today's video, we are going to look at backgrounds or background colors, background images when it comes to Droip. And I want to show you some cool things that I have seen or some things that I've been able to do just for the background. If you watched my last video on Droip, you saw how I was able to build like a gradient. Today I want to also take you through even more in-depth like knowledge when it comes to backgrounds. And so let's go into the editor itself. With this, I'm going to let's create a new page, right? A Droip page, and then with this we call it background. All right, and then let's save that. And I'm going to go into the settings to make sure. All right. I think there's something that should fix, because if I give this a name, probably the URL should also change to that name. All right, so that page, and I'm just going to publish it. All right, so from here, I am going to expand this to maybe 1920 as always. All right, that is good. And next thing I'm going to do is add a section. So this is my section, and with this, I'm going to detach this and give it my class. Let's call this background and then dash section. All right, that is good. And what I'm going to do next is probably go into size. I want to size this up a bit. So for minimum, I'm going to give it 1080. And as you can see, I have fixed my keyboard. I just bought a new one from Best Buy. So this is there's my section, and in there what we are going to tackle is backgrounds, right? Background. All right, so let's open up backgrounds. And with backgrounds, there are a few ways that you can do that. You can set your base color, right? Your base color. So this here is your base background color. So when you click on this, you are setting like a tone, like something that is going to like sit behind all the colors that you have. I'll say you will do this if you do want to like do some blend mode stuff, or if you have like an idea for it. But this is your base color. If you don't want it, you don't have to use it. All right, so from there down below here, you can see that there is more there's more things when it comes to like selection. You do have solid, you have linear gradient, you do have radial gradient, you have conic gradient, and then you have your images. You're going to go through this, like go through them and then see how you can use them and how you can manipulate them to do other things for you. So this here, as we said, our base color is black. So I'm going to go into here and then add a solid color. So I'm going to add a solid color of this purple, right? Okay, so after adding the color, there are a few things that you can do. Over here, you can change, if you want to change it to like linear or other stuff like that, you can do that. But as you can see, we are dealing with a solid color. So bring that back. So I'm not going to change anything over there. On your right side, you can see that there's this like teardrop. When you click on it, you can see a bunch of options that comes to like your blend mode. So if you want to do any blend mode on this color with your base color, this is where you're going to do that. So if you choose hue, you're going to get a black. If you choose darken, you're still going to get a black. Let's choose a color that, let's see, color brand. None of these is actually like good when it comes to like blending, lighten. So depending on like what you do want, this is what you can get. If you want to do like blend modes and other stuff like that, this is where to do it. So let's go back to our normal color. So that is blend mode, and you can do that on either of these options, whether it's your linear gradient, your radial gradient, or your conic gradient. All right, next thing that I want to talk about is stacking. You can stack your colors on top of each other. So if you have like this color over here, which is, let's say, red, you can add another solid color over here, and then let's give this one like kind of like bluish purple. So you can drag it to the top. If you want it to be on top, you have to drag it to the top. So you can say this is on top, and you can go back inside and then reduce your opacity if you do want to reduce your opacity over here. So that is stacking your colors to create like different variations and other stuff like that. Okay, so let's remove these. Next thing on the line is you have your linear gradient. So linear gradient, so it comes in from your left to your right. If you do want to change that, you can hover on this circle at the end of the line and then just drag this around. So when you drag it, you leave the mouse, so you can see that it moves it to that spot. If you want to make the black even bigger than it is, you can just hold the color and drag it. So you can see that this is what you can get. You can also hold this one, also drag it over here, and you can see that that is also what you can get. All right, so that is that. You can add more colors by hovering on the line and then clicking to add a different color that you do want. You can drag this color back, and that should be good. So you can just spin it any way that you do want. All right, so that is really good. One thing that you can do, let's hold this and drag it to the center. When you come down here, you see this repeat. What does the repeat actually do? So we're going to check the repeat. So when you do repeat, the colors that you have created, they repeat after the end of them. So let's say this red, I'm going to drag it, and then I'm going to drag this black also here, and I'm going to drag this white over here. So you can see that the colors that we have done, they keep repeating after each other. There's only people that I've seen them implement something like this. So if you have an idea for something as cool as this, you can do that. You can make the gradient that you've created, you can make them repeat after each other. And after that, you can also go to the end, and then you can see, you can drag them over here, which is really nice. All right, so that is the repeat feature within your background colors, just like that. Next thing on there is your radial gradient. So radial gradient, let me close that, open this again, bring that over here. All right, so with radial gradient, what you can do is when you go to the end of the line, you can drag this out like that. Can you see? Drag it all the way to whatever place that you want to drag it to, and you can also hold the other end and also drag it out. So that is that. You can add more colors in between the lines if you do want. So colors that you want, you can also go in here, choose a color that you want, and the same thing as the other one, you can repeat them. You can see that the top is being repeated, which is this black. Let's change it to red so you can see it. So you can see that that is being repeated. We can bring that red in, and then we can also bring this one also in like that. So you can see our repeat is actually working. Now it become like a radio repeat. Then we have that repeat going on and on and on and on. If we don't want the repeat, we can remove it, and then we do have just that centered gradient, just like that. So you can see that this is a gradient. And we can just drag it a bit to where what we do want. All right, so that is the radial gradient. Let's close that. And the next thing is actually something that I actually do fancy. This is really cool. Like none of the build that I'm using now has this, but the conic gradient is actually really impressive if you want to create like something that is super yeah, I would say super cool. So you do have something more like this, and with this color, even when you drag it off, you can get that. And remember that we do have a background color of black. So when I go in here and I change this one to this color, you see this is what it's doing. So the color behind there, that is that. We can go back into this, and we can add another color around. Where can we add it? So over here, you can add one more color here. Let's change it to like a lime. Let's drag this over here to, let's hold this color and bring it down. So this is your conic color. If you are looking for something like that, click over here and then change. Click that. Let's bring it in. It's 0. So you bring it in, and then we have something more like that. So this is not like an impressive combination of colors, but you can see the concept with that. So from your solid color to your linear gradient to your radial gradient to your conic gradient, and then the last one over here, you do have your image. So if you want to do an image, you can also do an image. Let's select this lady and head to that. But you can see that image is not showing, so I'm going to drag this image to the top. You can see our image is showing now. When we go into the image again, what we can do here is we can make it cover, and then if you want to make it center, you just have on click on this position and then click in the center. If you want to change it manually, you can also do that by using this. As you can see, if you do not want it to repeat, you can uncheck this so that when you take it up, it becomes like that. So that is that. If you want to make it this way, you can also do that. Right, so that is and we saw the cover. If you want to make it fixed, you can make it fixed over here. You can also change the blend mode for this by using this blend mode feature over here. All right, let's go back into normal. So I think that is that when it comes to applying colors to your background in Droip. Hopefully you can combine colors and images, combine a radial and then a solid color, blend modes. You can combine stuff to create really amazing colors, amazing backgrounds that you do want. My name is Nyakon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.